So everyone in DanMachi is one or two steps away from dying. And that's pretty bad. But hey, I guess if you're gonna brutally slaughter all our characters, at least we got a meme out of it. When our boy Heeden literally did the God I wish that were me meme, but not just as a 1 second one-off. No, he, with his full chest, did it as pathetic, as real, as genuine as you could make it. As he's literally thrown into the face of once ally, now enemy, because of his swapping of sides as he really fights for Freya's true love. Of course, you think I'm not the same? I wish that love was applied to me. Why couldn't it be me, damn it? And the switch up of his voice from his normal voice to his pathetic wallowing, why couldn't that be me, was honestly fantastic. Right now, though, it does kind of feel like it is impossible to win. But of course, DanMachi does it best. When it's the most impossible to win, it's where our characters triumph the most. Look at Season 4. How many times were we convinced Belle ain't gonna make it? This one's a little more hopeful just because we do have a lot more allies. On top of the fact that it seems like Hestia, the status boost or whatever. I'm not sure if she's implying that she wants to level up Belle. I'm not sure if he's at that point, but it's hard to imagine Belle even coming close to winning without some sort of level up. Second to last episode, though, very, very enjoyable. One more to go. Next week's episode does air on Wednesday as well. See how they're going to wrap it up, but shit, man, this was good. And it's initially, yeah, I was sad when they, delayed it, but the quality kind of speaks for itself. If they needed to delay this show as much as they did to finish up the final stretch with this much quality in the choreography and animation, yeah, I understand why. Of course, if you want to support my work, see my full thoughts on these amazing DanMachi episodes, we got the Patreon, full live reactions available exclusively over there if you're so interested. So, one thing I like about this episode quite a bit is, despite, I think, the Freya Familia being toxic as hell, I don't think we should deny that fact. The one thing I like about overall this episode is how it does kind of reinforce why each of them is so indebted. Now, not collectively, we don't know all of their stories, but I think seeing how just a couple of them, and, the one that really sticks out is the idea that, this dude, he was violated by some sick bastard. I understand why he killed that bastard. It's horrible. But ultimately, seeing how each of them had no place to go and Freya pretty much gave them somewhere to go, it's almost like she gave people who suffered very horrible fates, who had nowhere to turn to, a place to call home. And while it's definitely a toxic environment, given the fact that, it's, I don't think they really got the type of love they needed, and I think it kind of warped them to varying degrees. At the end of the day, I will give them credit. I can tell that they genuinely love Freya, and Freya at the very least cared about all of them, but in terms of love, well, that only ever was really with Belle, because Belle was the only one who actually stole her heart, even though he never intended to. The thing that's really great, though, is that despite it feeling toxic, I genuinely believe that this is their home. I still don't know if they're going to have that home when this is all said and done, because, I guess if Freya gets a punishment in the way of she has to live as seer or something like that. Now, that wouldn't really be a punishment. That would probably be what she really wants deep down. It feels like the Freya Familia is about to have to forge their own path. But either way, I appreciate the fact that as twisted as everything is, when you look at where probably most of them all started, they all probably have stories to similar degrees of violation, murder, abandonment, all these things, and this was the group that brought them together. It's understandable why they're so indebted, and most importantly, why they feel so envious of someone like Belle, because they each want that love targeted towards them. And as painful as it is that she never chose them in terms of that degree of loyalty, they still want to fight for whatever she deep down wants. And that's why, characters like Heeden, who pretty much are saying, this is what she wants, so if anything, I'm the one not betraying her, you guys are for not supporting her actual love, is such an interesting dynamic. When it came to the fights, though, so many moments, like lightning bolts raining down from the sky, that big charge attack where it was that dark blue just Exodia obliterate on screen, King just doing everything. Like, I have to wonder though, when Mamma Mia at multiple points uses that shovel and the metal of the shovel head like stops that giant greatsword, what is that shovel made out of? Like, Jesus. But in general, like the animation, the choreography, like there was so many times characters are just swarming one after the other, and they're not really taking shortcuts. You're actually keeping up and seeing all their individual movements, them being flung back, everything like that. But yeah, like it ain't looking good at face value. But with one episode to go, you'd think there's more content than just one episode. But then again, I didn't think the tables would turn so quickly prior to reinforcements coming and the switching of whose enemies now ally. So I guess like anything's possible, but I feel like we're gonna have to wait till season 6 to really see like a lot more of like what happens with Freya afterwards. Like maybe we'll see like what her punishment will be or what, you know, gets her sentence or something. But I think like most of next episode will probably wrap up the fight, a little bit of dialogue and goodbyes, and then we'll have to see where season 6 goes. But it was good. Really, really good. DanMachi has quickly become one of the more entertaining shows for me to cover, especially since, like, you know, season 3, I really think is where it got the momentum going, and season 4, I mean, speaks volumes. I've said it before, but if you haven't watched recent videos, I do think season 4 will still remain to be my favorite season, but season 5 is a very close second. For a while, I was questioning if season 5 would either match or surpass season 4. At this point, I think season 4 is still my personal favorite, and that's not even because like the delays killed my excitement. I just personally think overall season 4 just clicked with me a little bit more with that desperation and that anxiety-induced feeling, but I can't deny season 5 feels like an absolute banger, and I don't consider a downgrade from the previous season. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be frightening. It'll be interesting to see how they ultimately push him back. I would argue this is like Bell's most intense opponent yet. I don't recall anything he fought having this much durability, and that's kind of insane. You let me know your thoughts though. We have one episode to go. If you're anime only specifically, I'd be interested. How do you think they're gonna wrap it up, and do you feel like one episode is enough to conclude this arc? And for obviously Source Reader, same question, but how are you feeling about the adaptation? Because from an anime only's perspective, I have to say this is looking amazing. The movement, like it's borderline movie quality. Like this feels like a borderline DanMachi movie to me. So I'll be interested to hear how people are feeling on both sides of the anime watcher perspective. Thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alrighty, so today we got Vesuva Granada, Gabby G, Attack Owl, Gomison, Count Viscount, Ciaris, Ryuki, Kevin, Chawik, and we also have reruns. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You'll have a good one.